Can American right-wing Christianity be a vain idol that's being clung to? Abso-freaking-lutely. Why do you think they act the way they do? In the Hebrew scripture, which Christians wrongly call the Old Testament, there's a story of Jonah. And in Jonah chapter 2, Jonah is going through a death experience. And he prays a prayer that includes this line: those who cling to vain idols forfeit the grace that could be theirs. Or another version says, those who give glory to something of old forfeit steadfast love. Jonah refused to do what was right because he wanted his hatred of the Ninevites to be justified. Just like American Christians today want their hatred of, well, basically everybody to be justified. But in the story of Jonah, God from heaven tells Jonah, how's that working out for you to think this way? And when Jonah says, I would rather be dead than live in a world where God would have mercy on my enemies, pretty much like American right-wing Christians do today, God tells him, you care about this plant that died but want heaven to destroy 120,000 people? Are you freaking nuts? In the story of Jesus, we see Jesus talking about being born again and dying to self. This doesn't mean like say a magic prayer and be a terrible person and still get to go to heaven like Christians tell us. It means giving up old mindsets so that you can go into something new in the season. Jesus called it not putting new wine into old wineskins, or the book of Romans tells us that we're not to be conformed to our age, our echo chamber, our mindset, but to be transformed completely by a never-ending renewal of our mind. And the outcome of that transformation is to know what is good and right in a season. And Jesus said, without it, you become hard-hearted or blinded by the leaven of your bad religion so that you no longer have eyes to see, ears to hear, or a heart to understand truth. Why do American right-wing Christians act the way they do today? Because they're clinging to the vain idol of the comfort of the certainty of their old religion. And read the comments on my page. They get super angry to anybody that challenges them to think or be introspective, because they want to be able to say, I'd rather be dead than to live in a world where God would have mercy on the LGBTQ plus community or the Islamic community or anybody else we call other. But to cling to that idol is to give up a hope of steadfast love from people we never imagined we could love or be loved by. Rethink your faith. Don't cling to that vain idol.